So atong discussion is, so what can you say about the picture and what you have observed? Sige daw, any class. What can you say about the picture?
Cable ports, sir. Or
Okay.
cable din, mga cables na kung asa ilahang ilahang ah unsa ilang function, kung asa sila dapit ibutang.
Okay. So very good. No? So ang kana siya is about cable. Kung mapansin ninyo sa picture na atay kana kung iyahang back portion sa inyong motherboard, no, na ay printer, na ay mouse, na ay keyboard, monitor. So tama si Hermosa. So today our lesson is about peripherals, ports, cable, and connectors. So next, what is ports? So ports is external connecting socket on the outside of the computer. So this is a pathway into pathway into and out of the computer. So a port lets user plug in outside peripherals such as monitor, scanner, and printer. So it refers to the female part of the connector or connection that is used to connect a monitor, webcam, speaker, and other peripheral devices. So that is ports. So example of ports and their function. So we have many types of ports. No? So isa-isa ho na to siya discuss. Okay? Okay. So first one, the first port is the serial port. So so it is intended for serial type mouse or older camera. Okay. So inani. So mga karaan ni siya, no? And then another is the parallel port. So also called as printer port. This is only for old model printer. It has 25 pins and it is a female port. So sa una, ang mga printer nato is nakaparallel. Karon is USB type naman, no? Then another is the VGA or Video Graphic Array port. Sige daw, Martinez, pakibasa.
Ano,
Video.
sir?
Basahan lang.
Kita. Use, use to used to connect monitors. It has 15 pins and it is a female.
Okay. So, so VGA port. No? So, ang VGA is color blue. Diba? So, mas dali po siya mabalaan kung i-connect nimo sa computer kay naa siya blue po sa iyang port. So, color lang ba, color coding. So, basking dili pa siya i-discuss is ma-connect na nimo, no? Okay, next is the USB or Universal Serial Bus Port. Sige daw, Hermosa, pakibasa.
A high-speed serial interface that is used with almost all devices. It is used to connect latest model printers, pen drivers, cell phones, etc. It has 4 pins.
Okay, so very good. So, USB, nakuha pa din ninyo, ang mga printer na to karon is naka-USB type, ba ang mga charger sa cellphone naka-USB type. So, pwede na i-connect si cellphone sa PC. Okay. Next is the PS2 port. Okay, so PS2 port is simple 6-pin low-speed serial connections commonly dedicated to a keyboard and mouse. So asa diha si keyboard and asa diha si mouse.
Purple si keyboard,
Violet si keyboard.
Okay.
Mouse si
green
green.
si mouse.
Okay, very good. No? So the color green is for mouse and the color purple is for the keyboard. So makita man pod sa illustration na naay drawing pod na keyboard and mouse. But sa karon no sa market is uh, the available keyboard and mouse is naka USB type no. So medyo wala na pod tay PS2 port. Okay? The next is the power port. So power port is intended for power cord. So naa siya 3 pins, no? So mao na siya ang power port. Okay. Any question?
None, sir.
Okay. So another, the S video port, no? S video connections are available uh, on a certain source, components, and video display devices and offer a high level of video performance over composite video signals. No, so wala makaitay ano ani na butangan no. Okay, next is the audio port. So it's intended for plugging in the speaker or the headset. So na ay 3 colors, so each color na siya mga corresponding pins. Okay, next is the LAN port or the local area network in port. No? So it's a physical interface often used for terminating twisted pair using cable used to connect computers and to a local network or LAN, especially Internet, RJ45, and connectors. Okay, so kung makita mo sa illustration, mauna ginapasok si Lan Port. Okay, next is the HDMI. So, pinaka-latest na to, hindi naman pinaka-latest, no? So, medyo high technology na to is the HDMI or the High Definition Multimedia Interface. So, it's a connector and cable capable for transmitting high quality and high bandwidth stream for audio and video between devices. The HDMI technology is used with device such as HD TV, projector, DVD player, and Blu-ray player. Okay, so ang mga monitors karon is naka HDMI na, dili na VGA. No? So, na, na. Then another is the USB Type C. No, is an industry standard connector for transmitting both data and power on a single cable. Okay, so Type C kasagaran makita na to sa mga cellphone, no? Type C na USB. Okay. Question. Okay.
Wala,
Wala,
sir.
sir.
So another example of cable and connector, ano na siya, mga cables, no? And connectors. This first illustration is the PS2, no? PS2 port. So these jack are intended for PS2 port, especially for PS2 type keyboard and mouse. So mao na nito siya tong ginabutang dito sa ato ang ano kanang sa mga ports no sa likod sa computer. Itong ganina gidiscuss na to is ports no kani siya is cable, mga cables na. Okay? So next is the microphone jack or headset jack no. So this type of jack is intended for audio and microphone port. Next is the S video jack no. So actually S video port so mao na iya. Next is ang VGA port no. So this monitor jack is intended for VGA or video graphics array. no? So mao na to ang VGA. Mao na yang nawong sa to ang VGA. Okay, next is the USB cable. So this USB or Universal Serial Bus plug-in intended for USB port, modem, or new model of peripherals like printer, camera, scanner, or even other portable computer attachment used to USB type in plug-ins. Next is the parallel port. So this is printer cable jack intended for parallel port. So next is RJ45. So RJ45 stands for our registered jack. So this is a type of connector commonly used for Ethernet networking. No? So mo na itong ginagamit for networking. Okay. Any question?
None.
Okay, sige. Sige. So, give the name and use of each part and classify whether it is port or connector. Sige. Number one, kinsa maka-answer. Unsa na siya na port?
Ps2 port. Dili, video port.
S, video, port. Okay. Next, number two. Sige, Hermosa. Unsa nang number two?
Audio port, sir.
Okay, audio port. Number three, Martin,
Lan port.
LAN port. Okay. Kani isa, connector. Number four.
Vapor collector.
Unsa na siya na connector?
Audio port, sir. Ay, or, kwan. S video nga connector.
Okay, S video. Next is the number five, Hermosa.
VGA cable.
Okay, BGA cable. Number
Connector.
six, oh, Martinez.
USB cord.
Okay, USB connector. So, any question? So, dali lang na siya, no? Discuss na to siya kay tungod mag-assembly, disassembling naman gud ta. Okay. Rakoy question. Sige daw, Hermosa. How will you determine whether it is a port or connector?
Ang port, sir, is dito ginasaksak ang connector. Ang
Okay.
connector, which is yung cable na isasaksak sa port.
Okay, very good, no? So, ang connector is mo na siya tong ginasaksak, no? Ang port is mo tong ginasaksakan. Okay? So, how important is connector and port to a computer or any gadget? Kinsa mo ka-answer? How important is
Wala,
connector?
sir.
O sige, Martinez.
Um, ang important, sir, kay kung wala ang connector o ang port, kay dili man ba ang cellphone, dili makawalay power nga mahatag ang ang kurente, kay wala may saksakan o wala po'y port, walay port, walay connector.
Okay. No, so dili nimo ma-connect ang imuhang gadget kung walay connector and ang port kung walay connector.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
sir.
what do you think will happen if you lost your connector or damage your port? Unsa man mahitabo?
Um, walay maagihan ang ma, walay maagihan ang kurente paadto sa sa
Okay.
isa ka gadget.
Walay maagian or walay tawag kani
Walay
walay data
function.
sulod, no?
Yes,
Kay
sir.
naman sa
Walay data.
networking computer, so walay data na mosulod. Okay. Next, why do we need to be meticulous or very careful in connecting the connector in ports and computer hardware? Ito, Herman.
Para di ma-damage ang port, sir.
Okay, no? So kasagaran mali sa estudyante, ang kasagaran maguba pag mag-computer ta is ang VGA port. No, kasagaran ang VGA mag pangag-pangag na ang wire, di ba? Or ang pins or makiwi-kiwi ang pins kay tungod ang mismo ang iyahang port wala niya ginasunod, no? Kung asa mo sulod dali naman siya masabtan kung saan buslot mo po to ang imuhang i-connect, no? So tama, pag dili ka careful sa imuhang pag-connect sa port na possibility na maguba ang imuhang port ano man nimo i-focus man nimo na i-connect. Okay, so any question sa port, no? Dali lang kayo port and ano.
Wala, sir.
Okay. Okay, another topic is all about the parts and function of motherboard. So, na-discuss na ako ni sa una, i-review lang nato kay maumanggod ni ang module, ano ninyo, module 4. No? So, we have different parts of motherboard. Kung mapansin niyo sa illustration or sa picture, we have the PCI port, no? PCI port, the AMR slot, the Cmos or BIOS IC, motherboard version, Pci slot, floppy disk drive connector, USB connector, Cmos jumper, SATA connector, front panel connector, IDE connector, Cmos battery connector, Cmos battery, name of vendor, Atx Power Connector, memory slot, a processor, power connector, north bridge, south bridge, and the input-output ports. So isa-isahaw na to na siya discuss. Okay? So input-output ports. So this is located at the rear panel of the CPU. As CPU, digit na pati CPU. Or the system unit. No, this is located at the rear panel of system unit. So this is used to connect the outside hardware or peripherals of a computer. So kanina nag-discuss ta about ports and the connector. So mao na siya, no? Makita nimo sa likod sa imong motherboard. So we have the VGA port, the USB connectors, Ps2 connectors, VGA connector, the audio connector. No? So, kana. Okay. So, Ps2 port. Sige, pakibasa, Hermosa.
Ps2 ports. These are used to connect the mouse, green color, and the keyboard, purple color.
Okay, no? So, balik-balik lang siya, no? Ps2 port, kanin sila. No? Kanan to. Pero sa karon is the PS2, wala na kayo na to siya ginagamit kay naantay mga USB type mouse and keyboard. Okay, next is the DB25 female connector printer port. So, asa dre.
Sir, magbasa daw si ano, Sir Alcalde.
Alcalde, basa.
Asa diri po? Asa diri, sir? Kanitanan?
DB25 female connector.
Female connector.
DP9 female connector, serial or COM1 port. This used to connect a serial device of a computer such as a serial mouse and internal modem.
Okay.
Ano to?
So, katapang DB25 female sa taas, wala pa nabasa.
Ay, female. DB25 female connector printer port. This is used to connect the impact printer one of the DOT matrix printer EX the X1's LX 300 plus. Ito na,
Okay.
300 plus.
So very good, no? So the male and female connector, amo na siya tong kana COM1 port no inana.
Kato na sa ilalom.
So mo na siya tong ginagamit sa mga printer or any gadgets pa.
Gusto kag mga dili ba
Next
pang
is
babae?
the BGA
Ano siya
port.
na?
Sige. Oh, Martinez, BGA port.
So sir, BGA port. This is used to interface the DB cord of the monitor screen or the connect the monitor screen of the computer. The fastest video card version are based on the standard of VGA slots. Example, the AGP and PCLE card.
Okay. So BGA connector ha, dili na siya mga ports. Paki-change na lang mga connectors na. Ang ports is katong
Ay, connector din siya.
mga connectors. Okay, next is the USB 2.0 ports. No, so these are the ports.
Sir, kuan na sir, sinyas.
Oh, sige, Senyas. Nasa Senyas niya. Okay, Senyas, pakibasa. USB port.
So the USB to these are the port of the USB device of the computer attached externally of the system unit. One of that is the USB flash drive. As of now, the version of speed of this USB are the 1.0 and 2.0 compatibles. Done po, sir.
Okay. So next is the LAN port. No? So the LAN port, also called as local area network. So this is used to connect the number of nodes or workstation to a form of local area network. So dira ginabutang ang atong uh, LAN cable, no? So RJ45. Next is the audio port. So this is used to connect speaker, mic, and MIDI or musical instrument digital interface device of a computer. So audio port kani katong tatlo color. Okay. MIDI katong sa taas. Ang MIDI kasagaran gina-connect sa mga instruments. Next is the Atx Power Connector for pins. So kung tanawon ninyo dito sa inyohang yan lang. So unsa nang Atx Power Connector for pins asa na siya makita, no? Kani oh. Kana. So that is the Atx 4 pin. So gina-power niya ang duha man gud ang ato ang power supply gina-connect dire sa tong isa kani no ATX 24 pin kani isa is ATX 4 pin so duha ka connect sa imong power supply no pag connect nimo ni kani makalimtan nimo di gyapon mo andar ang imong ano mo palong kalit. So, kailangan dili na ito makalimtan pag mag-assembly ta ang 4 pins nimo na connector. Okay. So, ATX is used to connect the 4 pins of the power supply unit. This is separate from 20 pins or 24 pins of ATX power supply to provide the DC voltage of computer processor. So, si ATX 4 pin is kina-power niya ang processor, no? Okay, next, processor ZIF socket. So, this part of MOBO or motherboard, MOBO stands for motherboard, okay? So, used to hold the processor or CPU chip. Zero insertion force. The compatibility of the socket depends on the computer processor type, such as AMD2 socket of the AMD, and socket 755 for the Intel. So iba-iba ang pag mupalit ta og CPU, na siya corresponding dapat na motherboard. No? So dili tanan na CPU is compatible sa motherboard. So naa siya lahi na motherboard. No, for example, the AMD, no, naa na siya AM2 socket. Tapos ang isa is 755 for Intel. So iba-iba. Next is the memory slot or DIMM. So DIMM stands for Dual Inline Memory Module. This is the slot for computer memory or what we call RAM. So the memory slot depend on the type of the memory. No? So asa na siya makita sa illustration? Kani, DIMM. So dira ginabutang si RAM. Okay, dira gina-connect. Next is the Atx Power Connector, 24 or 28 pin. So, it's a group of connector of the motherboard. This is separate of the 4 pins power assignment. It provides direct current power output to the system board from the output of the power supply unit. So, katong ipakita na ko kanina, lahi po to si 4 pin, lahi po si 24 pin. Okay? So, sila ang naghahatag og power sa ato ang motherboard. Okay. Another is the name of the vendor. So, this is the manufacturer name. This is important to know the manufacturer or vendor. So, you can download through the internet the driver software of the motherboard. So, dili lang ingon na design lang ang vendor's name, kundi para mabalaan nimo ang iyahang para ma-download nimo, no? For example, dire Asus, no? So, dali na lang nimo siya mabalaan para maka-download ka og mga drivers, no? So, mao na yang purpose. Okay, next is the Cmos or BIOS battery. Sige, Hermosa, pakibasa.
CMOS BIOS battery. In this part, the CMOS/BIOS battery is held so that it can provide 3 volts direct current/voltage to the CMOS IC to preserve the BIOS settings of the computer, such as the time, module, hardware information, and settings/parameter, etc.
Okay. Now, CMOS battery. No mo to siya tong murag battery sa relo na nasa sulod sa motherboard. So, mo na siya si CMOS battery. Ito. Okay. Kana, no? So, CMOS battery. Kaya siya. Bilog. Okay. So, CMOS stands for Complementary Metal Oxide Semiconductor. So, BIOS stands for Basic Input-Output System. So, BIOS is a set of programs stored in a CMOS IC used to preserve the BIOS configuration of a computer. So, CMOS battery part number is next is the IDE connector or integrated drive electronics. So this connector is used to connect the IDE cable of a hard disk drive or CD DVD room or motherboard IDE. Sa karon wala na kayo tay IDE. No, ang ginagamit na nato is SATA cable or SATA. Next is the front panel or F panel. So front panel is used to connect power LED, hard disk drive, LED, and power switch and reset switch of a computer system unit. Okay. So 10 is the serial SATA connector. So this is a serial advanced technology attachment, the new standard of ID connection array of the computer hard disk drive. So SATA HDD to the motherboard system. Okay. So next is the CMOS battery jumper or CMOS or BIOS jumper. So this is used to disable the BIOS default setup, such as disable the supervisor visor password of the BIOS. Okay. Another is the USB connector. So this is used to connect the USB port from front panel USB na duha ka buok. Okay. FDD or floppy disk drive connector. Sa karon is wala na tayo floppy disk drive kay napulihan naman ni flash drive. No. Next is the PCI slot. So PCI is a part of computer motherboard used to connect the input-output cards of a computer such as LAN, Wi-Fi card, USB expansion, and sound card. Okay. So next is motherboard version number. So here you can get the version motherboard driver software. So maka-download ka dayon sa exact niya na model. Okay, next is the CMOS or BIOS. CMOS BIOS IC. So this is type of BIOS IC used by the computer motherboard, a set of program installed in an IC to preserve the BIOS configuration such as computer, such as speed of CPU chip and RAM. So AMR slot, this is audio modem riser being used to modulate the analog audio of the computer. Next, PCI Express Slot. O, pakibasa, Hermosa.
PCI Express Slot, a part of the computer that hold the computer video card, VGA. The PCIe card, the latest and the most fastest card being installed and most compatible with 3D and 4G gaming of the computer. The old video card type is the AGP or Putol sir.
Putol. Ay, di nyo makita diha. Or Accelerated Graphics Port and stands for the APCI. No, putol. So, PCI slot. Umuna siya kasagaran ginabutangan og mga video card. Next is the North Bridge and South Bridge. So, kung makakita ninyo diri sa picture, North Bridge and South Bridge. Atong PCI kanina, mo ni PCI slot. Okay? Then, so the North Bridge and the South Bridge. Si North Bridge, dool yun na siya sa ato ang CPU. Si South Bridge, medyo layo-layo. So, kung kisa itong una-una, dool sa ni sa CPU, mo gyud na si North always. No, ang layo-layo sa CPU, mo nang ginatawag na South. No, so North Bridge and South Bridge. Okay, kasagaran mo na mga question. Uy, wala na. So, any question?
Wala, sir.
Sige. So, proceed ta sa inyong module. Okay. So, TVL, Computer System Services. Module 2, parts of a computer system case, internal system unit, and motherboard. So, na-discuss na to last meeting ang computer system case and internal system unit. So, karon gi-discuss na to about motherboard. Okay. So, sa inyong module, so naay what I need to know. What I know, this is assessment. No, so, unsay imong knowledge about computer. No, so, Kanino na yun to. Okay, dali lang kayo na, discuss na to ni. Next is agree or disagree. So, draw a smile if you agree and sad face if you disagree. So, 5 questions na yan siya. Next is the activity 2.2, double puzzle. So, ano ninyo, answer na kung saan siya. Next is the what's new. So, unsay mo ha para sa imo unsa computer system ana. Next is the identifying computer system. Nag-discuss naman ta motherboard ganina. So, mo ni. Okay daw, wait, testingan daw nato. Unsa tawag ninyo ani letter E?
ATX, sir, letter E?
E.
ATX 24 pin.
Okay, very good. No, ATX 34 pin. Sige, next is letter D. Kinsa maka-answer? Mo sa unsang letter D?
FDD ba to, sir? FDD slot?
No.
Oh.
Letter D, unsang letter D? Tanaw nimo. Lahi pa
Mm.
FDD slot nimo. FDD slot is letter C.
Ay, ayun. Ano siya? Sa RAM?
Okay, sa RAM. So, unsa tawag ana?
Memory slot.
DIMM or dual inline memory. So, DIMM module. Okay. So, mao ni siya ang ginabutangan. Tama si Hermosan. Mao ni siya ang ginabutangan sa RAM. Next is, okay, ito. Okay. Sulat po asa na location. Okay, dali lang kayo na, no? Next, component of computer system. Okay, so what is it is the lesson proper. No? So, discussion about so na-discuss naman na to na-discuss na po. Tapos, kinds of memory, na-discuss na. Okay. Na. Next is what's more. So, na-discuss naman po na to ni last week. No, paki-answer na lang pag wabot ang module. Okay. Name the following ports label on the figure. Use the separate sheet of paper. Kung sa mga ports na ginabutang diri. Number 1. Any question? Any answer? Kung sa ginabutang sa number 1? Kung saan port?
Power cord.
Okay, power. Number 2.
Keyboard, sir?
Okay, keyboard. Number 3.
Mouse.
Mouse.
Okay, very good. Di mo karong uban. Number 6.
Ano na?
LAN.
Okay, LAN. Number 7. 7.
USB.
USB.
Okay, USB. Number 8.
Audio jack.
Audio.
Audio
Port.
port.
Audio port. Saan na siyang audio?
Lahi man itong audio jack ay saksakan. Port is ginasaksakan, saksakan na to. Audio jack.
Sir.
Mga.
Okay, next is what I have learned. So, identify the parts of motherboard, and use the separation. Okay. So, 1 to 10 na siya. Okay. Kung saan tawag sa number 10? Idaghan man.
Peripherals. Cords.
Ports.
Sige daw mo sa.
Ports, sir. Ports. Back panel ports.
Okay, back panel ports. No? So, mauna matingala mo, sa 10, daghan kayo. So, back panel ports. So, next is true or false. No, write T if the statement is true and F is false. So, paki-answer na lang na. Next, what can I do? Isulat, kuasa diri si corresponding picture. Next is assessment. So, kay nana mo may knowledge. So, mauna na yung assessment. Okay. So, additional. Sige daw, si number 5, asa na siya gina-connect? Asa na letter?
D?
Ah, yeah, okay. Very good, no? Sa D. Letter C. Unsa man ang letter C? Asa na siya gina-connect? Asa man? Unsang gina-connect sa letter C? Sige daw. Wala diha, wala mo diha. So asa gina-connect sa letter C?
HDMI. Murag SATA yata, sir.
Okay, SATA. Next. Okay, so in your module 4, no, mao na to ang module 4 or module 2, week 4 and 5. Parts of computer system, internal system unit, and motherboard. Any question sa module 2, week 4 and 5 na module? Okay, pahuman na ta. Next meeting, mag-discuss na po ta assembling and disassembling. Any question?
Wala, sir.
Wala, sir.